Danny and Input cruising through the airwaves. Transformers knowledge blast that never caves. Reviews so sharp they'll cut through steel. In the podcast world, they're the real deal. Jumping in the deep end, swimming with the best. Danny's got the info and she never needs to rest. Input's got the passion like a roaring jet. Together they make a mark you won't forget. Dynamic duo, never gonna quit. Taking over airwaves, super lit. Transformers podcast bringing the heat. Every single episode can't be beat.
Hey, and welcome back to the State of the Transformers Fandom Podcast. I'm Danny D, and I'm here with the Mr.
N-PUT. You see how smoothly that we accomplished that when we put our two heads together? Yeah.
MC DJ. Yeah, I know. There's you. I mean, there's you. There's me. There's you. Who am I today? Yeah. Jump right into it, I guess. Today's topic: does a growing subscriber count change creators' integrity? And I'm not just saying just getting reviews or anything too. I just mean overall integrity. When someone's numbers, even when I'll get into it when I talk about, but even when you're someone in a group grows and how it affects people within the group, So, how do you feel about it all?
I think absolutely it does. I think for the most part, it kind of depends on the individual.
Same. And if they're trying to get if they are trying to get monetized or not as well can apply, right?
Well, I mean, if you're trying to get monetized and try to make a living off of it, that's one thing, right? But
yeah, totally.
But they're kind of kind of almost becomes like an air of arrogance almost, right? Like that you can throw this, bullshit number in somebody's face. You know what I'm saying? And think that you're big shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, let me make my stance abundantly clear on this, okay? It doesn't really matter how many subscribers you have, you're still nobody. Okay? Legitimately, when Thu walks out into the real world and goes to the grocery store, nobody knows who he is. Right? Like, you could have 4 million subscribers, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, you're still not on the level of Robert De Niro. You know what I mean? You don't have to go outside with a baseball hat, covering your face and a pillow under your shirt to hide who you are or whatever. You know what I mean?
For sure. But some people, I'd say for sure, the Jake Pauls and all that, they got them that millions of things, and then they expanded, I guess, into real, into the real famous world in a sense, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They did.
Not that I think they're more famous than other people here, but yeah, some shit does lead to some stuff. But yeah. The average person that's Toy World, hundreds and thousands of subscribers. I mean, yeah,
absolutely nobodies.
Yeah, right. As Bart always tells me too, or at the toy show, people are coming up to me trying to kiss my feet and hands. He's like, "Just remember, you're nobody, right?" I'm like, "I know, I know."
But Danny, there's some of us like me who would die for you.
Yeah. Right? I know. Hey, Earthman Brick, what's up? Yeah.
I also think that even if you start out
what's up, everybody?
I think if you start out and you don't really you don't really see the number coming or whatever, right? And what I mean by that is if you start out and then you don't really expect anything to come from it, and then all of a sudden you start blowing up, right?
Yeah.
That can, it's like people don't know how to handle success or handle when they get a lot of money or whatever the case may be, right? Totally. I kind of think that's the same kind of situation, right?
Yeah.
But really, truthfully, at the end of the day, like I said, you're really a nobody still. In the grand scheme of things, overall, you might go to a Transformers convention and people will know who you are if you have a Transformers channel, right?
Mhm.
But again, you're still not getting stopped out on the street,
No,
like,
no.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And yeah, like I was saying too, like the other part of it too, like I was saying, like just changes the person's like integrity with like even their own groups, like I was saying, like, someone like you too that like starts a thing like Tales of Teletran, right? Like get all these people together, not that this necessarily happened, but then like one person blows up from that, and say you got that person on your stream every day, you always invited them, and then they blow up and then they never have you on their stream or something like that. Those situations kind of changes the person. Like, I don't know, it's weird, right? Like someone that brought you up, now you blow up and then you don't even try to help them a little. Not that you owe them anything necessarily, but if you give them the cold shoulder, kind of is a bad look. Like I says, it does change that person's integrity. It changes like who they are in a sense.
Well, I think in that situation, like that's really messed up, stuff like that,
Yeah,
right? Like that's super
it does
jacked up.
happen though. Yeah,
Because to me, in that scenario that you just described, it kind of shows that like that one person wasn't in it for the fun or wasn't in it for like the main reasons or whatever it is that like that it was founded on or whatever. He was just there to use a group of people
totally.
for internet to just be able to gain some kind of internet clout.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Clout chasing, clout.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the integrity probably wasn't good to begin with, but still, like it just makes it worse. Like once if that's the person that starts to get bigger and bigger, right?
Yeah, and eventually, when something like that happens, they kind of start falling into like grifter territory,
Mhm.
right? And they might be, I guess, like famous for a while, quote unquote famous, but then that fame kind of turns into infamy, and then people just start kind of like not dealing with them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because a lot of people like their true colors will start to come out in that regard,
Mhm.
right? So then a lot of people just kind of see them for what they are. And when you go from like a smaller show and then like say you go and you create your own show and then that kind of blows up and then you're not like reaching down you're not reaching down to pull people up, but you're reaching down to pull the ladder up behind you,
Yeah.
right? People are going to see that, and then because that's going to just basically mean that you're going to keep doing that, so people will eventually get wise to that, and then your entire plan excuse me, your entire plan falls apart at that point, right?
Yeah.
For everything that you're trying to do. So Earthman Brick says getting massive success and then becoming a nobody is worse. Case in point, the kid in Flight of the Navigator dude ended up hooked on drugs and robbed the bank. What the hell? Fortunately, he turned his life around and is building himself back up. Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, sometimes like people will win the lottery, man, and they'll just go buy everything, and then like in like a week they've spent
Yeah.
$40 million,
Yeah.
It's like, well, I don't know what happened. Well,
Yeah.
you bought a $10 million house.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like it's strange how it affects people. Like, just like the more you grow, and like I said, some people, like we've been on here for years, it's like a very small, steady growth. But like I said, I haven't put 100% of effort in from years prior at times, right? But it's just when those people get that, I guess that first like up to 5K, like they start rolling around there. You know what I mean? Getting that boost, especially if it comes quickly. I think people like start to fragment way quicker.
Well, and not only that too, but the other thing too is like, I think a lot of people focus on that subscriber count, and that really shouldn't be the case. You should focus more on like your view count for your videos or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
If you have 500 subscribers and each video you post gets 10,000 views, that's something to focus on. If you have 10,000 subscribers and each video you do gets like 5 views, then there's something wrong in that regard, right? And that could either be like, YouTube not pushing your channel, like push notifications, whatever the case may be, all the way down to people will say subscribe to things and never watch it. How many times have you seen or heard people paying for like Netflix or Amazon or whatever the case is, and they just have all these subscription services and they're stacked and they never use them?
Yeah, it's true.
So, like I said, at the end of the day, it's I'm not gonna say it's an imaginary number, right?
No.
But the fact of the matter is like that number can be falsified, that number can be faked, that number can be objectively looked at, and everything else that kind of comes with all of those different scenarios. So there really is no reason to to get that way because of your subscriber count.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, people do get hooked on it. Like you said, a lot of people inflate it, Google ads or whatever it is now. You know what I mean? The people show big numbers and then, like their watch time, their views aren't very big. But like I said, it's just like, like I said, it's usually those people that get that first initial big boost though, that start to change quickly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially if they're like around a whole bunch of other people that are stuck in like the hundreds or whatever, right? The slow count, but you're the one that just blew up to 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 7,000, those people usually kind of branch off or try to associate themselves with other people with big subscriber counts. Oh, I will only work with you if you have the same as me. And, but you kind of left all these other people behind. So
like I said, man, like pulling the ladder up behind you is really shitty. Especially the way that YouTube stacks everything against its creators, right? They will, like I said earlier, they will make it to where your audience doesn't get your notifications. I mean, I've had plenty of people when I do a live stream be like, what the hell? I didn't get a notification that you were live. Yeah. And I'd been live for like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Something like that, right? So we've seen that countless times, right? But to continually have all of these things like stacked against you, like from YouTube and Google and everything else, it's really shitty that when, like I said, like an individual kind of does that same thing to you and pulls that ladder up, Unfortunately, to answer your question, or to answer your question, unfortunately, subscriber count for the most part does challenge a creator's integrity. MC DJ says, yeah, I think YouTube are so awesome when they are up and coming. Then when they get that high subscriber count, they act like anyone else famous in Hollywood.
True.
Not
every single person, but a lot of people do.
Yeah. And I think that comes with a lot of things too. Like companies will start looking at you to start giving you money or endorsement deals or start to like involve you into things, right? Like how many times have we seen like Hasbro, Mattel, whatever, somebody like that give out creators like freebies or whatever, right? Or put them on like a live stream with them, and they get to meet like the WWE team over at Mattel or whatever, right?
Totally.
And then how many times too? And then on top of that, how many times too? I think not only so now I'm talking out loud about it. I think the subscriber count is the beginning of that. But I also think too, like a lot of these companies do shady backdoor deals with a lot of these creators, right? And a lot of these creators will, just for like news or whatever the case may be, to get news early, to post up pictures or whatever, right? we'll see a lot of that. And then, I think it's like 2 years ago or whatever, Mattel got exposed for doing that by Analog Toys because they reached out to him and he put Mattel on blast. Like he put their email up and everything else. And then a lot of creators basically took the money and ran, right? And that affects integrity as well, because I think the problem here is like not necessarily subscriber count per se, but everything that comes with the subscriber count. And when you boil it down, you follow the money. Money's the rule of all evil, right? So if they can get the news out there before anybody else, they're going to get those clicks, they're going to get those views, and it's going to be more than everybody else, and stuff like that. I mean, case in point, in terms of the clicks and the views and stuff, Hasbro just had their live stream yesterday, 2 days ago, whenever it was, right? And they showed all their upcoming like Deadpool figures and everything else. Immediately after that live stream, you could type in new Marvel Legends or whatever it is, and you could see every YouTuber, every toy tuber talking about it, trying to get the clicks and trying to get all this stuff, right? So these companies know how that works, and these companies dangle that carrot. I think the sad thing is like, you got some people who don't get paid by these companies. They just get the early, like the early news or whatever. And they think like that's an in with the company, and then they take it and they sign, this NDA and all this other nonsense, and they don't get paid for it,
Yeah.
MC DJ says you can be that one diehard fan, but there since day one, and then boom, it's an occasional skip in the chat to only rubbing elbows with sponsors, toy donors, other big YouTubers too. It's just not fun.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, bunghole. Yeah, it happens, man. It's just it gets the best of people. Some people, though, I've seen that they've gone high like over the years, and they might do the occasional sponsorship or this and that, but they really don't. Some of these people have stuck to themselves too over the years, so they didn't really have that conflict with the group they came up with or anything, right? And some people like they their integrity is good as it can be, especially if like they do go full time. I don't suggest doing only YouTube full time, but if you do go that route, I mean, you got to have some other incomes as well. But people do go that route, and then they have to do some of it. But if if they're upfront about some of the sponsorships and this and that, it's a bit better, because like at that point they are paying to like have for their house, to eat, the kids, family, whatever, right?
Yeah, but like, why be so secretive about it? Look,
I'm saying the people that are upfront about it, that do it, it's better, right?
Well, yeah, it is better. But my question, so like, if you want to get big off of YouTube, like there's one or two ways to really do it. Do something completely out of the ordinary and unique, and I mean, that in the community, or fuck, I hate that word. Or in that realm, right, of that you're doing. Case in point, there's a automotive YouTuber that he got T-boned, and I've watched him since he rebuilt his car, but he got T-boned and rebuilt the car basically from the ground up, and traveled the country to find parts for this thing. Quarter panels, fenders, frame rails, seats, dash, like anything and everything that he could get, right, to rebuild this thing. That is unique in itself. Nobody is taking their 240 and doing that to it. If anybody got T-boned, they'd be like, okay, I lost my car, whatever, and this is my new project, blah, 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 blah. That's unique enough. That's so far out there in that world, right? The other thing to do is like just buy a bunch of subscribers and hope one of those videos that that you make lands on enough real people to kind of generate some sort of virality and keep going. But my thing is like, why lie about it? You know, like, just be upfront and just be like, yeah, all 90% of my subscribers are fake, you guys. I bought into the fake account thing and whatever just for the Google ad revenue. I would respect somebody a lot more than that, right? Unlike somebody like, say, Shartimus Prime, who blames his audience for not being able uh to eat at the end of the week, right? Like, oh, I got to pick up some extra shifts at Guitar Center, you know, because you guys didn't watch enough of my videos this week. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I mean, that's a lack of integrity. MC DJ says, I want YouTubers to be as successful as they want to be. Just don't change you. What made you and attract an OG fan base, because we're still out there and we're still usually the ones who are still. That's very true. That is
It's true,
very
yeah. But I mean, like, it just, the ones that stay true to themselves, and you know, like I said, they're more honest about the sponsorships and whatever, and you know, it just, yeah, you see those people, longevity actually does go a long way with that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turns out better, and like I said, most of those people too that I can think of off the top of my head that kind of did stuff like that. Like I said, they never like came up in big groups. Like they were basically all, and they don't even mingle with many people now doing many videos. Like they're kind of all the people I can think of are very like just them. It's always been them. It's just them. So I think that helps too, because you know, you're just who you are. You're not having to like, you know, balance like old friends, new friends, rubbing elbows with people, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
On yourself, you can kind of focus more on your integrity for your channel and what you're kind of trying to do, right? Because it's mostly just about you and your fan base or your community, your people, right?
See, and that's why I kind of feel like vlog channels, for the most part, are like the truest form of that, because like you're either gonna lie your ass off in a YouTube vlog channel, or you're gonna be you, like the genuine you.
Yeah.
You know, there isn't gonna be like a character you play or an in between or anything like that, right?
Yeah. Well, that's why I like live streaming too for the most part, because like, yeah, you kind of hold back a little bit, but like you are who you are. You know what I mean? Your quirks, your stutters. There's no editing. You can't be like, oh, blah, 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 right? You try not to say anything too offensive. Obviously, you're still playing somewhat of a character, but like you are who you are. You're in the moment. You know.
Yeah, that's kind of, yeah, I can see that too. Yeah,
I feel like that's what the best I'm at, even on the old content, like before YouTube and stuff. When I way back in the day, like, and I mean, we wrote some stuff and stuff player, we did stuff like that too. But it's just nice to be off the cuff as much as you can for me. And this, I like the realness of it. You know, that's why I love listening to lots of different styles of podcasts myself, not toy related, but you know what I mean, just all different things of the authentic. You know, people seem more authentic at times when you've listened to them ramble, you know, especially like old radio, like Opie and Anthony, and that was brutal shit. But like you got to know the people, and yeah, you knew they were being as honest as they could be, maybe too honest at times, right?
Right. That's yeah. They can be a little too honest at times.
yeah.
Too revealing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it MC DJ asked the question? He says, "Is it me? Is it just me, or does the drama usually follow the higher YouTuber subscriber accounts?" Yeah, I can. Yeah, but you know what it is though. I really think in regards to that, I really think that like the it's so if you want to get, I probably should have said this too, I guess, but I'm glad that you brought it up, because like a really good way to get famous and subscriber counts, whatever, on YouTube is to attack the people who are bigger than you and just hope that somebody says something, you know, back at you, right?
Yeah, the clout chasing there. It's like it's that Eminem effect, right? Like you diss him because he's so big, and then he mentions you, and it's a good thing for you and a bad thing for him, right? Because he's not going to mention you, but as soon as he mentions you, you get more famous, you get bigger, right?
Yeah,
because the bigger
exactly.
channel's mentioning you. So yeah, I know it's a clout chasing thing at that point when you're your smaller channel and you're just rambling off names and hype just to get mentioned by these bigger people. And it's for truly like they don't gain anything by mentioning you, but you gain everything when they mention you. You know?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You just start throwing out punches and hope one lands on
Yeah.
somebody, you know?
Yeah.
I do think that in regards to other like um regards to like integrity and stuff too, I think like it's a real big shame when you have certain creators or certain shows or whatever when they get somebody they go so hard like anti Hasbro, anti Mattel, anti McFarlane, anti Toyota, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
What you know, and then they get somebody who used to work for that company on their show, or they get somebody who works for the company on the show, and they don't go in on them, right? And I don't mean like in a bad way, like going off on like, you know, like screw you and your company and stuff like that. But like when
Mm-hmm.
you have the guy sitting there and the entire fandom wants to know answers to everything that, you know, they want all their questions answered.
Totally.
And the guy just starts saying stuff, and then the show is just like, "Oh yeah, yeah, that sounds good." And then they're like, you know, chatting it up and everything. It's like everything that you just worked for to be able to get to this moment just got thrown in the dumpster. You
Yeah.
know? Like all your integrity, all your everything, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you just threw it away,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, it's Soundwave say. I'm Soundwave 8084. Miss you, man. I'm awkward in live streams. Yes, you are. And I'm just kidding. I love you. So I just usually do regular videos, even though I hate editing. Otherwise, I try and do more, join more live streams. Well, I said, like, I know you're going through some stuff at the time, but reach it back out to me. I'd love to have you on the Cybercast, new podcast I have, and some other stuff. Love for you to join us on Danny and Friends. But yeah, I mean, it always can be a little awkward, but I mean, the more you get used to it, the a little easier it gets, especially if you have people you can really like gel with and connect with, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's kind of one of the main things that you should try. Like if you're going to do a podcast, you know, don't jump in the deep end with a bunch of randos, you know.
Yeah, it is tough with that part.
Do what?
Yeah, it's tough. Like you said, like when you jump in with a bunch of randos, you're just sitting there and you don't say shit. And people are like, well, why did we even have them on? They didn't say anything. But it's hard. You got to get your word in. You got to, yeah. So that's why it's better to do live streams that are maybe 4 people max, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Let's see. MC Blue Raccoon says, you know what, I get sick saying his name, but Butch Hartman was verbally attacking someone online. Butch Hartman, dude, Butch Hartman's a fucking piece of shit. Okay. Like legitimately, that guy, man, guys, if you don't know, look into all this stuff. He's the one who did I'm brain farting on the cartoon right now. The one with the 2 fairies, like the tooth fairies, and you know what I'm talking about? Like one's green and one's pink.
Yeah, Fairy Odd Parents or something.
Fairly Odd Parents. Thank you. Yeah.
Dope shit. Yeah.
MC DJ says, worst case is when it turns legal. Was watching the Valaverse situation on quote unquote It's Chad channel and was like, wow, I sued to want to rub elbows with super YouTube stars. Now I'm like, no, I'm good. You meant used to sue. I'll tell you like this, man. If you guys let Hasbro send somebody my way for an interview, okay, I'm not gonna Oprah them. I'm gonna Geraldo them,
right?
You know, because Jesus, man. You brought up the Valaverse situation. That reminded me of like that when that 3POA had Ryan on.
Yeah,
a bunch of softball bullshit. And and if Ryan wants to know who started the hashtag Toy Biz did it better, it was this guy. Just FYI. So
funny.
don't get mad at them. Don't get mad at everybody else, Ryan. Get mad at me.
Lost your integrity.
Get mad at me for speaking truth to power, baby. That's what I do.
Truth. I spit truth till every tooth comes loose. Twisting off the goose. But yeah, that's great. Yeah, like I said, you just gotta try your best, man. Put your best foot forward. Don't let the corporate world, the money, the fame affects you. You know,
Yeah.
We've all had our times. You can play into a character, you can have fun, but
Yeah.
you know, it is best to just stay level-headed because yeah, you know, it is just what it is. It's YouTube, and yeah, it's just, you know, you just gotta try your best, you know.
And also too, like if you genuinely look out for grifters, because grifters will say just about anything and everything, right? And a lot of them will try to change your mind on something, and you know, they'll do like maybe like a year or 6 months or a couple of videos, whatever it is,
Yeah.
saying one thing, and then they'll change their mind, they'll say something else or whatever the case may be. So
Yeah.
but my point in saying that is, like, if you genuinely enjoy it and like it and love it, and you want some more of it, and you try so hard, you can't rise above. Anyway, I'm sorry. Don't.
And don't forget all the
My
people.
Southern heritage is showing.
Yeah, you're funny. Quick strike. But yeah, don't forget about the people too that brought you up, you know. Like
Yeah.
even if they never, you can't do something with them all the time. You don't owe them shit necessarily, but like, you know what I mean, a little gesture, a little invite, you know, just letting them know that they are welcomed at one point, especially if they really got you off your feet and you know, brought you into a group or something. It's like, you know, just show them a little love, a little bit of like respect, you know, the same type of respect that you'd hopefully, if it was the other way around, they would show you, you know.
You know, you say that they don't owe, like, you don't owe them anything, right? Like if I got like 1 million subscribers because of this show, Danny, this is your show, I would owe you 1 million subscribers. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I wholeheartedly mean that, right? Just because this is your show and I essentially, lack of a better term, I guess, reap the rewards from this episode. Right? I would owe something back to you.
Yeah, the thing is, I would never expect you to owe anything like having you on the show, but like I said, just the common like mutual respect of like whatever, like, you know, just let me know or having me on your thing or something would be enough at the end of the day, right?
No, dude, if I'm eating, everybody's eating.
Yeah, no, I feel the same too, but I'm just saying, like, you know, if it was someone else or like just at the end of the day, just like, yeah, just common respect out of it would be perfect, you know, just to let them know you're okay too, right? But I do feel that. Thank you for being that way. You know, I'm like that too. I wish I could change, but I can't change. I'm always a piece of garbage at the end of the day.
Nah, man. Look, legitimately, if you want, you know, you got to be the change in the world that you want to see. So if you want to see a positive change, you got to be that positive change.
Yeah.
You know, legitimately be the old dude who helps the old lady across the street. And I say old dude because I'm 40 now, and I feel like everyone's all like, nah, man, you know, like 70's the new 40. You're like 40's like the new 18. It's like, no, dude, you tell that to my back every morning when I wake up.
Yeah.
40 is the new 40.
40 is the new 40. But yeah. I know. God.
But,
never mind. But yeah, it's out there. But oh God. Well, I think that wraps it up for today. But like, thank you so much for everyone for joining us in chat. It's always a pleasure having you input, and yeah, it's always a pleasure having everyone in chat. Everyone being so active today, talking a lot, lots of great, lots of great comments, I'd say.
Yeah, and if you guys got anything to add to the conversation, you guys know where to put it. It's YouTube. It's been around for a while. You guys know how all that works. So, do it now. Go do it now. And
we'll be back next week for sure.
And be good to yourself. Be good to each other. And Danny, give everybody out there some words of encouragement Nice.
Yeah,
Be nice.
Yeah, I will.
Be nice.
Mario, but yeah, no, just don't let the numbers affect you, but it is good to see, like, watch time, people actually, actually pertaining to your videos. It is good to see, just don't get hooked on the subscriber thing. I mean, it is cool to see, but if you got the low count and you're just slowly chugging along, it's not about that at the end of the day. It's just about building a community. If you have 100 or so like people that you can interact with, good for you. Like that's a huge accomplishment, and it's just about keep on doing it. You never know where things could go, and just have fun with it. If it's a hobby, you want it to be a job, maybe one day or whatever, but just keep at it and stay pure. Just do it for the fun, do it for you. You know what I mean? And the people will see that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, we'll be back next week right before the holidays, and yeah, it'll be fun. More stuff to come next year, so stay tuned. And yeah,
yep,
that's about it, I guess. Stay safe, people, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining us. It has been a pleasure. However, we must now conclude the program. We appreciate your viewership and apologize should we have inadvertently disrupted your evening. Please do not take any offense. We look forward to presenting another engaging topic next week, and we extend our gratitude for your continued support.